Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Screaminpirate EDC. Glad you all decided to come back and see another review. Today, we are going to be reviewing what a lot of people consider to be one of the greatest knives ever made, the Evatac Shadow Ranger. No, not a great knife. I'm kidding. This knife is awful. It sucks. Go tell Kevin at Lefty EDC and Jake at Bearded Gear to stop sending these to people. Stop it. Shadow Rangers are bad, and you should feel bad if you buy one. Don't. Just don't. What I'm actually going to be reviewing today is going to be the Spyderco Slysz Bowie. This is the new variant, as it were, from KnifeJoy with the blue anodization, the satin ground blade, and this one is in M390. Now, this knife is made out of Spyderco's Taichung factory in Taiwan. So is the original, so is many of their other knives. They're fantastic. If you don't like the Taichung made knives, you should try one. I think they're some of their best made knives. Either way, guys, let's go ahead and head down to the tabletop and review the Slysz Bowie, not the Evatac Shadow Ranger. Don't buy that knife. All right, we are down at the tabletop. So, as you can see, these are 1/2-inch squares. You can kind of get a rough idea of the size of the knife. I will go over exact specs in a bit, but just to give you an idea of what it looks like next to a few other knives, I'm going to do some different ones than I standard do. Wanted to do some other frame locks. Probably one of my favorite frame locks under 300, the ZT 0562 tie. I felt like these were very similar. They feel very similar in hand as far as ergonomics. It doesn't look like it, but they do. Also, they have very similar acoustics. So if you listen, yeah, I really like the acoustics of those two. Anode job was USA made blade. So let me kick him shut. Next, let's go ahead and do... let's go ahead and do the large Sebenza. Now, these two are going to be probably your closest in price and in relative size and some of the materials and what you're getting. So I'm going to put this off to the side. We will come back to that comparison. Next, let's go ahead and do some other Slysz knives. So if I did not mention before, this is a Marcin Slysz design. And let's go ahead and start with the Techno. This is the Techno 1. Little tiny guy. Go ahead and tuck him away. And next we have the ever popular Spidey Chef. So there you go, pivot to pivot, side by side. Anno and engraving here was done by Jonathan McNee over at McNee's Custom Knives. And we're going to save this one for another comparison as well later when I get into more specs. And lastly, here is your Spyderco Swayback. So just a little bit of a comparison there, just a little bit of a note. So now that we have all those sizes done, I really thought those were the most relevant ones. Last one, just as a joke, again, do not buy this knife. This is whatever, the M-Tech version of the Evatac Shadow Ranger, that piece of crap. There's your side-by-side. Again, don't buy this knife. Don't. So now that we have that out of the way, let's just go ahead and go over some quick specs. So for specs, we have a blade length of 3.42, an overall length of 7.79 inches, and I'm going to tip this up for you guys. We have a blade thickness of 0.138. Now, the steel is M390, as I mentioned before, and let's go ahead and turn the scale on. Yes, hello, hello. 4.26 on the website. For KnifeJoy, they say 4.3. So very, very close. I can deal with that, especially for a titanium knife. Now, centering, dead center. The lockup, I mean, I would have gone over this later, but it's a Reeve integral lock, so it's the original Chris Reeve type lock. I mean, that is, I can't move that blade. I literally cannot. Obviously, white wire clip. It is reversible for left hand or right hand carry. So tip up left or right hand. And it is actually running on phosphor bronze washers. So very good. Very, very good. Let's go ahead and grab our bits and see what we're working with screws. So I have a T6. Yep, we're going to have T6 on body screws. That's fine. I typically like T8 since they don't strip as easy. And then I believe our pivot, that's a T8. And then that means our clip screw is also a T8. Fantastic. I can live with that. All right, so we have centering, lockup, all of that is done. Let's do one more thing on construction. Now, I believe this backspacer is G10. It certainly looks like G10 to me, and it feels like G10. I wish they would have gone with something nicer or a smooth G10. Their jimping really isn't needed. So as far as ergonomics, I mean, I've showed you guys before, I wear a large glove. That's where it fits in my hand. It's perfect. Honestly, that clip has no hot spots. I never have one with wire clips. It's super comfortable in hand. But honestly, what kills me for this knife is the jimping. It's almost like sandpaper. I really feel like there's so many other better examples of jimping out there that they could have reached for that they've done themselves at Spyderco. This jimping's just, I don't know, it's a bit sharp. And this jimping back here just honestly isn't needed. Not with the way these ergos are. It really is overkill on that. Now, how it carries, you have a wire deep carry clip, so you're only seeing that much. Fantastic. I have no problem with the wire clip itself. Action, nice and smooth. I've played with it a good bit, but I can reverse flick and thumb flick. It doesn't quite toss shut because of the phosphor bronze, but I believe it will break in. So not that fidgety, but fidgety enough, I believe. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the elephant in the room with this knife. What it's going to be is your price and availability. Price here was $400, and it's only from KnifeJoy. They have said that they have more, but right now they are sold out, and you are pretty much at the hands of the aftermarket. I've seen everything from $450 all the way up to astronomical prices like $1,200. Don't pay $1,200 for this knife. I'm going to say that now. This is not a $1,200 knife. If you want a really nice knife, you want something that's worth $700-800, go get a Shiro or a Koenig. This is not that knife. Is it good? Yes. Am I keeping it? Yes. Is it something that's going to stay in the collection for me? I believe so. I do think it's a very good knife. On to the title. Is it the greatest of all time? Is it the GOAT? I don't think it is. In fact, I don't even know that it makes it in my top 5 in my collection. It's good. It's very good. But if they're going to upgrade the blade steel and anodize it, why'd you leave it with a Reeve integral lock? The Slysz swayback has an over travel and has a stainless steel interface. Why doesn't this? I've already had to take graphite and put it on the blade itself because of the lock stick. They could have easily incorporated this, and they didn't. I think that was a massive, massive misstep. Also, if you want a Slysz design, look how similar those two are. That's the Spidey Chef. I think if you're dying for a Slysz, just get a Spidey Chef. They're easier to get. and it's pretty much the same, a very similar construction. Now you do get contour titanium here. That is very nice. I do think the chamfers are better. But if you're willing to spend $400, ooh, drop that, guys. I do apologize for that bang. But if you're willing to spend $400, spend $450 and get a basic Chris Reeve, in my opinion. Again, my opinion. Now, if you are a collector like me, or you just love this knife and you love the look, I say get it, but I would not go over $500, maybe $500, maybe $510. So all in all, guys, I would say that it's not even close to being the GOAT, but it's a good knife. If you like it, get it. If it doesn't really speak to you, I think it's overhyped, and I think that's the way most of us are feeling. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Sorry to end on a odd note there, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and go ahead and comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.